Hi, Barak. Thank you for coming to BizTalk. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks, Max, for the opportunity.
My pleasure. And thank you so much for coming, for the time spent with us today. So before talking about ALMA Technologies, shall we give an introduction on yourself? Short intro?
Okay, thanks. So my name is Barak Or. I'm from Israel, Haifa. I'm 33 years old. I graduated from the Technion, the Israel Institute of Technology, with a bachelor and master in Aerospace Engineering, additional bachelor in Economics and Management, cum laude. I also lastly finished my Ph.D. in the world of sensor fusion, deep learning together. I worked a period with Qualcomm, and I also led a team in the navigation world in Israeli startup named Autotalks. And I established ALMA about 1 year and 8 months ago, where ALMA is also my daughter's name. And that's it about myself.
Thank you so much, Barak. So let's talk about ALMA.
Okay, so I briefly say that ALMA is an early stage company. ALMA is developing positioning solutions designed to help car drivers and also scooter riders localize themselves using widely available inertial sensor driven by deep learning algorithms without the use of GPS, camera, or any other sophisticated sensors. So this is about ALMA generally. The vision of the company, as we see it right now, is to be another company, but not just another. To be one leader in the world of mobility, to allow mobility for all. This is what we believe in, the mobility for all future, and we took ourselves the mission of positioning. We aim to provide positioning solution using inertial sensors without the GPS, as we said before, and we do that by really state-of-the-art technology, mainly machine and deep learning. So this is the mission, the positioning solution. What is the positioning problem? Why we need it? Why we have the company? So the positioning problem is something that we know from daily living, like indoor parking lot, the complex road network, the urban canyon. I mean, anywhere, any place that we don't have satellite communication or any ability to see where the car is located, kind of what is our line of sight. Like in camera, we need to have the line of sight, but in some weather condition or building, we cannot see it. So this is the classical scenarios where the positioning is problematic. So we have like low GNSS cover, low GPS covering, and something which is much more, let's say, 2022 problems is the dispatch and ride sharing problem. This is the Uber company problems. This is the Bolt and Lyft daily problem. How can we know exactly what is the optimal path to design? What about the micromobility, like where the e-scooter and the bikes parking places, where actually those vehicles are located? And as Amazon discussed with us lastly, what is the position of the delivery guy eventually? Can we solve the last mile delivery? So this is the positioning problem, still exists 2022. We don't know to locate anyone, anywhere, anytime. And this is what ALMA aims to solve. And we do that mainly by looking through the terrain. We look on the surface of the road. We look on the surface of the sidewalk. We kind of seeking for some geometrical properties, some physical properties using the inertial sensor and some OpenStreetMaps map. I mean, really low-cost map and really low-cost inertial sensor, just to make sure that the low cost means zero. You don't need to pay nothing for the inertial sensor because they are available in any smartphone. And you don't need to pay anything for the maps because all the maps, like what we need for ALMA, are for free OpenStreetMaps. is open, and we can rely by that only. And what is AI? AI is like only using deep learning on time series data. We do not like to take the picture or videos, a lot of data, and process it, but just taking a series of data, time series, one-dimensional input, and rely on that and take outside the positioning. So ALMA, actually, the ALMA solution is SDK, and this is what we provide. The diagram that ALMA live inside using the IMU sensor, the inertial measurement unit that combine the accelerometer and gyroscope only, which are physical sensors, is where the driver, the vehicle, the road, and the map are the entities who play together. And we know from this play and from those relationships between the driver and the road, between the driver and the vehicle, between the vehicle and the map, and all the physical conditions, we know how to translate it into positioning solution. So this is maximizing the safety. It provided anytime, anywhere. It's very accessible and available. So if you want to use ALMA, you can do that alone. And if you want to have just kind of accessible solution, for example, for the AV world, autonomous vehicle, then you can integrate it next to any LiDAR or RF or any other GNSS platform that you want to make it with ALMA. So this is the solution. We are in the company today 8, and we just have 2 additional talents, so we are 10 starting from October 2022, where I am the CEO and the single founder. We have Maxim Freden, that he has also Ph.D. from Duke University and the Technion. He leads the entire R&D activity. We have Liad Yitzhak, that was one of the founders of Waze and lead the air mobility company in Israel. And Liad Yitzhak is one of our board members, very active. And together with these great minds, which is really important for our stage startup, where all the employees, all the algorithm engineers are graduated from Technion with bachelor, with cum laude degrees, we know how to eventually achieve our goals. And we have it, and we have work POC. So what is our product? I mentioned it as an SDK, the SDK named Dido 1. We have the on-device ability to play. We have the server side if we want to update and improve the version of the SDK, but we don't need to have the connection to the server side. We can play by ourselves alone. We want to allow this positioning solution to work outdoor as well indoor. So what is meant by outdoor is like we want to provide the user positioning, which could be car, could be e-scooter, could be e-bike. We want to allow it like GPS in the same resolution, in the same accuracy, but without the GPS, like GPS, but without GPS. So we speak about 10, 15 meters as initial solution phase. So this is what we have here. We see the green and the blue colors, like this is the points. The green is the ALMA solution, and the blue is the GNSS, a very accurate one. This is the RTK, and we see how it follows. And in the right side, we see what properties we actually take outside from the OpenStreetMaps. We take outside only the geometrical properties, the curvature, the rounds, the curves by themselves, the lengths, and much more than that. We build the motion events or the state of the vehicle, where you can move straight, left, right, level up, and many more. We have 2 work POC, one in Tel Aviv in Israel and one in additional city in Israel named Ashdod. We passed a way of 27 minutes, 6.3 kilometers with a mean absolute error of 24 meters. okay, which is this is like GPS, but without GPS. And why I mean like GPS? Because this is urban canyon environment. The city of Tel Aviv is very crowded. So you see that the GPS error is about 50, up to 100 meters error. So we took this down so we can move with the delivery services like Wolt, like Uber, like anyone, and provide the positioning of those vehicles. Additional use case is the indoor parking lot positioning, where we have a lot of talks lastly with a lot of OEMs, including JLR, including BMW, and what we have here, and maybe I need to also mention Porsche, what we have here is the ability to take the vehicle from the entrance of the indoor parking lot to the exact spot that you want to park your car. So today it will be for regular vehicle, but give us 2-3 years and it could be also for AV. So what we have in the right is actually the trajectory of the car that we sketched using the IMU from the smartphone, specifically from the iPhone only. And we see that we have the same performance like company that names uBlocks, that we bought the sensor for about 250 USD, and we have really good performance. So we know where the car is entered and where the car is ended the trajectory, and what exactly was the trajectory. So yes, we have a still small bias, but this is without relying on the map. This is relying only on the IMU sensors using some deep learning approaches inside. We collected about 5,000 kilometers all across Israel, all over Israel, and we have patents from the idea that we had. So today we are with patent pending, all to the USPTO via track 1. So really in the final stage, this is the phase where we want to have much claim as we can. So we hopefully will have in the USPTO the 4 first patents registered very soon. And what we cannot have patents, we publish. We published a lot. We published 2 papers in a period of 10 months. Okay, so we published IEEE censored. We now submitted our paper to Nature. So we know that what we have in our hands today in the company actually can make a revolution in the mobility industry. So what we can do today is like protect the IP. We have competitors, we have uBlocks that we actually, to be honest, with connection with them, okay, in order to have something in common, something together. We know about TDK and NVIDIA, those giants that really want to put their feet in any new technology. So what differentiates ALMA from those giants and any other company is the ability to rely only on the inertial sensor that exists in the smartphone. You don't need to integrate or to fuse the cameras and the LiDAR and the radar and HD maps and all the sophisticated sensor together. You can rely only on this low-cost IMU sensor highly available. And eventually, from the business side, this is a very basic one. This is license selling business model. We speak on B2B model. We have design partner, a very strong one. This is Bolt. We have about 100 million users potentially that will use ALMA Technologies in the near future. We speak about 2023. We ignited with them the POC with Bolt. We see some initial results that make us pretty sure that we can revolve this industry. So the market potential is huge because this is mobility. So we speak on mobility, but not only. We speak also on the micromobility business, the e-scooter, what we see today in Amsterdam, in Paris, in London, in USA, all over the world. We see this revolution, and we see that we need to have those positioning solution also for the micromobility. We know that connected car is something that fascinating the world, also the others for the OEMs and tier one company. And our go-to-market strategy eventually is to start by the easier one, the mobility company, and then the automotive tier one, also the fleet managers like Joyride for the micromobility. Okay, so we know that eventually also the navigation providers like uBlocks can benefit from using ALMA. We provide the SDK today, but we can provide the API tomorrow. We know how to be a complementary system for ADAS and autonomous vehicle anytime that someone needs us. So we know how to monetize this technology. And just to sum up everything, we just ignite the core team. I mean, the core team assembled was on October 2021. This is just 12 months ago. We supported by AWS, the Amazon Web Services. We got 2 investment rounds from Israeli Israeli angels named MNS Group. This is the leader, about 1.7 million USD. We got additional grant from the Israel Innovation Authority, and we keep push to additional grant. We speak about 700,000 USD, and by that we mean that we speak about 2.5 million USD that we successfully aim to raise in a period of 12 months. Okay, it's very fast for a deep tech company, and we really want you to keep and follow us. We have the LinkedIn very active, and we have the website, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Barak. Very, very interesting. How strong is, I mean, you are very early, just get started, but how strong is the demand?
To be honest, we started that we thought that the demand is only from company like Google Maps, Waze, Apple Maps. But then when Amazon started to talk with us, and where JLR and also, Bolt and those mobility company started to speak with us, then we understood that the problem is really, really tough. I mean, this is the time to solve the positioning without the dependency of GPS. You don't want to rely on GPS when you need to deliver Amazon package, box, anything. You don't want to be dependent. You want to be independent. And ALMA provides you this ability as a company, as a giant, as a regular company that need it in order to manage the fleet of their vehicle, and eventually even for micromobility.
I mean, in terms of the sensors, you don't use anything except, I presume, the sensor on the smartphones, right?
Yes.
And
for now, yes.
Do you need any permission to do so?
No. The beautiful with this IMU sensor, the accelerometer and gyroscope, is that any smartphone actually allowed to use this anytime. I mean, this sensor, if I will take my smartphone right now, which is closed, and then I will take this one and I just move it, then you see the screen is turned on. Why? Because there is some sensor that believe that there is some motion. Okay, I mean, I just shake the smartphone and I see that is turned on. Why? Because this sensor, the IMU sensor inside the smartphone, is very, very low energy consumer. I mean, this is something that you can play in 100 Hertz. It's a lot. And this is something that no one put any authentication or anything that you need to turn on in order to play with that. Just imagine that you want to take a picture. You can take it vertical or horizontal, and the camera is adaptively play with that, understand it. So this is the same sensor.
Do you need the smartphone be switch on, or it works also off mode?
No, we need the smartphone to be turned on. We need the smartphone to be alive with
So,
battery.
I'm very curious because you have been covering so much, such a big area. Okay, how maybe it's not relevant, or maybe it is, but I'm not an expert in this. How many signals do you need to cover the surface? So let's say hey, we are talking about we need to monitor the position of a car. Okay, the car
Yes.
goes everywhere. How many smartphones should be displayed around the
Nothing. There is no process of the kind of let's collect all the world. Let's like what Google Earth did. There is not a process that you need to go with a lot of smartphone and collect data. No, you just need to take the signal from the IMU and ask questions like, is this signal related to this path on the map? Like maybe I did like left turn and then right turn, and then I across kind of speed bump. So those kind of events eventually are kind of unique for specific segment of the motion. And then we know how to translate and say, yes, you are located here. Okay, for example, we have a very accurate speed, we have very accurate editing, we have very accurate dynamic entities and quantities that we know to translate those quantities into the X and Y, into the position and coordinates.
In terms of business model, how do you monetize this?
We want to just make the license agreement kind of, for example, pay us 1 cent, 2 cents, 5 cents per user per month, and depends, of course, the price is dependent on the amount of users. And this is, for example, a very simple use case. We want to make it simple. We want to make it really simple.
I mean, in terms of, again, I think you are in a seed stage, which means you are raising now your seed round. But how much, for example, are you raising now, and how do you want to use this funding in terms of scaling your business?
Yes, thanks for the question. The seed round is about, or exactly, this is what we need, 7 million USD. And we want to push the company in the product. I mean, in the product way with this money. What is the product? We need more software. We need more business development. We need product manager. We need to take ALMA SDK and to integrate it in the OEMs company, in the mobility and micromobility companies. We need the engagement with the market and to push it much harder. And why? Because we are deep tech and we focused mainly until now in the first year of the company in the R&D activity. So this is the first time that we say, okay, part of the investment will keep the R&D activity, but part of it will go to the productation, and part of it will go to the software, and part of it to monetization using the business developments guy. So this is where we aim to focus in the next 24 months.
Thank you. When it comes to traction, you had already some, you are already in talk with few. And actually, you're in talk with quite serious companies. So where do you see, from all the sectors we've been talking before, mobility and all the others, I do believe you can work also with states themselves to position, because they need to know so much. Where do you see, at least at the beginning, the money coming from? Mobility?
Mobility. Yes, and maybe we still gamble on the micromobility market. This is a very, very mature market, very young, very nice. I mean, not too much barrier in order to get inside this market. To be honest, we have under LOI from a company from Estonia named Comodul. They have almost 1 million e-scooter and e-bikes. We believe that the collaboration with those kind of companies that really make this revolution can lead ALMA to provide the positioning anytime, anywhere to anyone. So we believe in this approach because the OEMs, the OEMs of the automotive, I mean, they will be there always. Always, they will want to keep and advance their systems. But the micromobility is a new market. Also, the mobility by itself, I mean, Bolt and Uber, there are two giants. We have also Lyft and Didi. So this kind of company can also have a huge benefit because they can allow more users to use their services in the same amount of time. Just believe that in 24 hours, you can give twice services than what you have only because you know what is the positioning of your vehicles. So this is huge. You can make the delivery faster. You can track where your delivery is located. You just wanted to have some food, but you need to understand that eventually who need to understand where you are located is the delivery guy. You know where you are located. So this is a tough task. Eventually, the last mile is a really problematic issue, and we believe that we can tackle it using ALMA Technologies when we speak today. So it's the mobility and the micromobility.
I do believe you can do a great job. I'm pretty confident. How do you manage to tackle your competitors, which, as you said, are pretty big guys? Can they achieve the same technology you are using today? Can you protect your technology?
Yes. We have already protected by apply to the IP, to the SPTO. We didn't do it now. We did it about 1 year and 6 months, probably most of the patents. And those competitors like uBlocks, this is hardware company, and NVIDIA want to make revolution in any aspect. So we saw that those competitors want to make fusion integration between a lot of sensors. So if you want to use, for example, NVIDIA technologies or TDK technology, you need to have camera, you need to have LiDAR, you need to have a lot of sensor. We say don't use anything but the IMU that already exists in the smartphone. So I think that this game changer that you can rely only on one low-cost sensor. So this is something that differentiates us from the other competitors, and this is why we keep.
Does it allow you to price your service lower?
What do you mean?
You need to buy a lot of sensor, probably the price has to be higher than yours, where actually you don't need to buy anything. This technology can allow you to sell at a lower price and be more competitive in the market.
Yeah, yes. If, for example, you need to have indoor parking lot capabilities, and you say, let's buy a very, very accurate sensor. For example, the accurate sensor that you need costs today $20K USD. And you say, I don't want to pay $20K USD for each car, for every car. I mean, this is a lot. So you can use ALMA technology. I will give you for free. But anyone else, I will charge him. Not too much. We speak on really about dollar, about 10 cents, about 20 cents. We want to do the revolution, to start it by take the $20K USD sensor capabilities and minimize, reduce it to almost nothing.
I mean, I'm a big fan of vision, and I would like to close with you with your vision. Where do you see ALMA in 3-5 years time? Where would you like to be? How do you see your company?
We see the company as a global positioning providers. Like you have the GPS, like you have the cellular, like you have the Bluetooth, then you will have ALMA. ALMA will be the next positioning provider, and you will use it anywhere worldwide. This is what we believe.
Barak, thank you so much for coming to BizTalk. It's been a very great pleasure for me.
Thanks again, Max.